Almost 2 years ago, a mother receives a phone call that changes her life forever. On the other end, her estranged husband in Pitt County yelling, cursing, threatening to kill their 3-year-old son. Then she hears a gunshot. This is a story about tremendous loss, but also tremendous strength, and as a mother vows to use her tragedy to help others. In part 1 of my 2-part series, we will take you back to that night in 2012.
That's from Pitt County Sheriff's Office. This is Tommy. Has he got a weapon?
Yes.
What kind of weapon does he have?
I'm gonna have a pistol.
Is he in the room with your 3-year-old son?
Yes, he just made my son down in school.
Said he was going to hurt me like I hurt him. He was gonna kill Jesse and kill himself. He put Jesse on the phone, made Jesse help me. Said, "Mom, I'm gonna die tonight." And I told him that I loved him and that would be okay. CJ snatched the phone away, and I heard this silence for a few seconds, and then it was a loud pop.
How do you know he has a gun to your son's head?
He just hung up and he said that my son is already dead.
It was at this house on Wiley Gaskins Road in Grifton where Jesse Adams' father, CJ Adams, fatally shot his son on July 12, 2012.
When we got there, it was very apparent from the beginning that something bad had in fact taken place.
Pitt County Sheriff's Deputy Mason Paramore was one of the first on the scene. That night, the flash and glare of police lights surrounded this home in rural Pitt County. And during her 911 call and then the shooting, deputies had kept Christy about a mile down the road in her car, just waiting.
And it seemed like forever. Waiting, was hoping and praying that police would bring my little boy out to me safe and sound.
I think she was under the impression that I was bringing her son to her, and that wasn't the case. I immediately spoke with my lieutenant because I was thinking in my shoes, what if that were my child? I would want the opportunity to be able to say goodbye.
That night, two strangers became forever bonded through a friendship born of almost unspeakable tragedy. While 3-year-old Jesse Adams fought for his life at a hospital about 15 miles away, Deputy Paramore raced to get Christy there in time.
I remember holding her hand the whole time. We prayed together, we cried together.
We cried the whole way to the hospital. You prayed with me.
Unfortunately, we didn't make it in time. We were about 5 minutes late, so.
And they said he didn't make it. Right then and there, I fell. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think.
There was a rocking chair sitting there, and she wanted to rock him to sleep one last time.
I sat there in the hospital room for hours, holding him, rocking him, talking to him.
And she picked him up, and she rocked him to sleep.
When Jesse died, I promised him that his name was not going to die in vain. And if I could save one person, one kid from having to go through it, one family from having to feel the pain that we feel, then it would all mean that much more. He would have died for something instead of anger and hate.
And Christy Adams is doing just that. She wants to tell her story to help others. Now in part 2 of this series, we will show you how Christy is reaching out to the other victims and using her heartbreaking story to help others and also help break the cycle of domestic violence.